today we're joined in the studio by Susie Violet Ward, CEO of Bitcoin Policy UK. Susie, how are you today?
Great, thank you.
It's nice to have you in studio.
Yes.
They've missed you for the last week or so.
I know, I've missed being here as well.
Great to have you
it's great to be back.
Yay. Things to chat about today, which you liked the sound of. One thing, Rumble, the YouTube competitor, announced it will integrate the Bitcoin Lightning Network for tips. Yay or nay?
Oh, it's huge. And it's the only way forward.
Yep.
So on Nostr, zaps are so for example, you can have just like normal social media reposts, likes, replies, obviously. But on Nostr, for example, you have zaps. And so someone can zap you a sat, 21 sats. It's a fraction of a penny. It's nothing. But it's better than a like, and it really adds up. Mm-hmm. And it's a way of showing appreciation to content creators in a very, very, very small way to say, I really like your content. Thank you so much for putting the effort in. And it's really appreciated as well. So even when I get zapped even a couple of sats, it really makes my day.
And it adds up over time. So do you use Nostr in the same way as X, for example? Do you post on there, you kind of write pieces, things like that, and then people can comment and send you a zap?
Exactly the same as X, but it runs on relays. So you choose your relays. So the problem with X is that you're controlled by an algorithm. Whereas on Nostr, you kind of almost select what you want to see based on the relays that you want to look at. And because...
Is it like the old school version of all the social media where it was just a timing thing and you would get, like, do you remember how Facebook and Instagram, it would all be in terms of like whatever posted at that time, you'll see it in order. But then they changed it to the algorithmic feeds where you're just like fed what they think you want to see. So what you're saying is you're tuning into a relay, and then whatever goes out on that relay, whenever you're looking at it, you're seeing that relay. It's not like the algorithm saying, "Oh, this is a popular."
So. I'm not 100% sure how the relays work.
How it shows you the order of
in
things,
full,
but you have more of a choice over what you're looking at.
Exactly,
Got
and
it.
you can choose to exclude relays that do things that you don't like, and you can choose to point at relays that do things that you do like, and you can set up your own relay, and everybody's got control. It means you can't censor things, you can't take it down, and it's really important because, especially in the UK, we have been faced with the online safety bill that's come out, like the authoritarianism that's creeping in here, and the back doors that they want to create. You know, one of the stories we're going to discuss today is about privacy and access to private messages. I mean, it's getting really creepy.
That is a bit, I'm looking forward to diving into that too. Like a lot of this has come from, so for example, you've got parents whose children have been convinced to kill themselves and things like that. And so there's a lot of this stuff coming off the back of that. Is there a way to balance like the safety of people with privacy, in your opinion, or is it one or the other? You either have, some people are going to die and get conned and get, talked into doing awful things, or we have, is there a way to find a balance?
I don't think that children should have access to this tech. I find it really quite disturbing.
Yeah.
The age at which you see kids walking around with these devices. When we went on holiday recently, we went to a water park. And you'd think it would be the one place where you could get away from your phone. Like, I wouldn't even consider having my phone in a water park, but they've now
got the little plastic bag. Oh yeah, I've seen those in Vegas. Yeah. So you can have it around your neck and it doesn't get wet. You can do your selfie. Yeah.
But I found that really intrusive because I'm on a lazy river in a bikini and I don't want people with phones around me. Like taking selfies and like, what are you doing? But then, like, I actually saw a kid that was about 5, like a kid and mum walking around with their phones in their hands. And my kids weren't even allowed to take their phone on holiday.
Okay, so this is a fair argument for, keeping kids safe. They should not be having just like exclusive access. You should be able to see what's going on. What about like any type of criminal activity or like criminal networks, terrorism, things like that? How do you stop a terrorist act? how do we stay safe as a nation or like as a world if the law enforcement are not able to access any of that? Do we just hope for the best?
You go after the criminals.
But how if you can't track? You have to prove it in a court of law. You can't
But
just
they're
kind of
using
say.
social media.
Okay, so you have to just look for their
you
look for their like Facebooks because you're not going to find them on the other ones.
Well, I know. I heard that a lot of human trafficking, is done on these social media platforms like Instagram and Twitter.
But my point is, won't they just go to these other ones that are private? It's kind of like a more philosophical discussion.
Well, yeah,
of, like,
of course they'll find a workaround, won't they? So, like, just go after the criminal. Don't go after the people that are law-abiding citizens who want their privacy respected.
So it is okay, and this is fun. I'm just liking the debate here because I don't know what I don't think it's. I personally don't think it can be one or the other. It can't be in extremes like that. There has to be. It's a grey topic. So you go after the criminals, not the average person. Great, but what does that mean if they want to access if they want to be able to access somebody's phone? Like, how do they know who the criminal are if they can't go after it? Do you know what I mean? Like, how do you if everything is encrypted and there's no way for them to get access to anything, how does law enforcement find these things out?
There would be ways. I mean, how do people find ways to traffic human beings? How do people find ways to access these things on the web? How do they do that? You would just have to do your research and investigate it.
I guess the point is that the investigation part of this thing, the privacy thing, part of the investigation is going and getting into reading people's messages and checking their emails. So to me, it's like...
It's not a strong enough argument.
Okay. So you think they should just look for other ways to capture?
I think the information's out there, and having access to everybody's information just in case.
Yeah. That to me is problematic because there should be a process, and normally you can't just hack somebody's phone unless you have a court order. And I think if you are a suspect for crimes and the police have gone to get a court order to access your data, they should be allowed to. But are you saying no, they shouldn't be able to do that, or is it?
Well, that's a completely different thing. If somebody is handed over their device and there is, so I suppose it's like having a warrant to search your house.
Right.
It's the same principle.
So I think we might be on the same page. I don't agree that it should just be a blanket, we can scan everything and anything. I don't think that should be the case. But if there is an investigation going on, I do think there needs to be access to these things to uncover crime and prove people wrong in a court of law. So I do think there has to be a level of that. But I think we're saying the same thing.
Yeah, but accessing someone's phone because you've got a warrant and wanting to scan and have access to everybody's private messages, two completely different things.
I agree with you. Yeah. And I'm glad we cleared that up because because when people say like, is your privacy, they should not have any access to any of this. I'm like, well, in certain situations, and I think that's why I'm a bit more, there's grey area dependent on the situation. It's not completely, but I think we're saying exactly the same.
Yeah.
We're in agreement there.
But what these laws are doing is taking away the privacy of
everyday citizens. Yeah,
everybody.
No, I agree. Yeah, that's too much. That's going too far,
and,
for sure.
And they're not even really solving much either, are they? I mean, when you think about crime at the moment, if your house gets burgled, they probably won't turn up.
I think it's just like low level stuff that they're not equipped for, or...
But even the high level stuff, like when you look at the online safety bill that has come out, the only thing that you need to get around that is a VPN. Mm-hmm. And children will be using VPNs. And what you're actually doing by making them use these workarounds is then you're giving them access to more dangerous stuff. So the people that are writing this legislation and implementing it don't understand the tech that they're...
Yeah, it's true. It seems like that. Yeah, it seems like they're a bit clueless to the workarounds, for sure.
Yes.
Okay, back to this because we digressed.
Oh, yeah, Zaps and integrating lightning, yes.
Yes,
it's
but you're
brilliant.
Excited for that, yeah.
Really, because the problem is we know with media, with writing, with social media, the incentives are wrong. You have to... When you write an article, it has to be clickbaity, but if you can build an audience and people like your content, and I suppose people will still go down the clickbaity route, I guess. But it's a way of saying, I like this, and just given a really, really small amount, which is better than a like. I mean, what would you rather receive, 21 sats or a like?
I'll take the sats, thank you.
Yeah, even though it's a fraction of a penny, it doesn't matter.
It all adds up.
It does. And then when you think
hey,
about...
10 years from now, how much is that 21 sats going to be?
Oh, generational changing wealth, yes. So when you think about the incentives of these newspaper outlets, you know, you could create more independent journalism through doing this. You could fund your favourite journalist. You could support your favourite journalist rather than reading something in the Financial Times and it just being behind a paywall.
Yeah, you know what? I think that is such, because I keep seeing, it's very annoying. You click on an article and it's like pay to, you know, join, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. If it was just like, if I could send 10p, 20p.
Yes.
If I could just send a small amount, like, then how much do I really want to see this thing? Let me send a thing. I think that would be a much better way of doing it. And then if it's through Lightning Network, where it's just very easy to do it, the easier it is to do it, you can just, because it's like the having to stop and log in and give my credit card. And I know that if I forget, I'm going to be billed, I don't know, £50. And I never read this publication anyway, so I don't want to be stuck in a subscription. So yeah, I think it would allow a lot of creatives a way of making money. Yeah, it's a really great point.
Independently.
Yeah, definitely.
And for you to give people a little tip, a tiny tip. It doesn't even have to be 10p.
Yeah.
Just to say, I think this is great. Thank you. Keep up the good work.
Yeah.
And then that way, this independent media can rise. And
it really
found
shifts
a way it does.
Yeah, shifts the incentives, which we have right now. But yeah, you're right. That'd be cool.
It's so good, and it's really going to change everything, and I think it's going to change how we interact with the internet. I think that Bitcoin is is internet money. It's a borderless, decentralized money that anyone can use and that can be sent, you know, a very, very, very small amount, micropayments. Like, our current financial system can't operate with micropayments, but for example, spam. Another fantastic thing that you can do with micropayments is, you know, when you get all these bots, if you had to pay a sat, or a bot had to pay a sat, or someone had to pay a sat, it's nothing. You would do that just to verify yourself and get rid of the spam, but all of a sudden it changes the whole world of spam, because if these spammers or these bots
every time, it
adds up, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And it's the money of the internet, and there are so many use cases. This is why I love Bitcoin.
Do you think that X will integrate something like this? Because that seems to be kind of in Elon's wheelhouse of kind of making it a payment platform and things like that, and as a way of, because there is like a creator, you can make money as a creator, but that's more just from ad revenue, right? Based on
yes,
I think you're not really getting paid by other people on the platform.
No, you're not. It's more about visibility. And the reason why I'm hesitant to answer this is because obviously he is a fan of Dogecoin, and I think that he has floated the idea of integrating Doge into X, which would be heartbreaking. Hopefully he's joking. He does get a Bitcoin. Obviously Tesla's got Bitcoin on their balance sheet. So, you know, fingers crossed he'll do the right thing. It makes sense.
Yeah. Very cool.